An awesome day to you, our lovely and smart real estate investors across the world. I'm super delighted to welcome you to another insightful and educative section of Property Matters here on YouTube. In case you're coming across a video like this for the first time, my name is Adejare and I'm your host here on Property Matters. Property Matter is a real estate YouTube talk show where we discuss important issues that concerns how the Lagos State real estate market functions. Over time, we've talked extensively on land documentation. We've also talked about how you can identify a fraudulent real estate practitioner. We've also went further to talk about how you can identify a fraudulent real estate developer. We've talked about land document. I've talked extensively on how to identify a fake CFO. I've talked about what a governor's consent look like. So this is a channel that educates you on the most important thing, and the aim of Property Matters is to ensure that you don't lose a dime to any form of real estate investment. So after watching this particular educative guide, at your leisure time, you can also check some of our playlists. We have over 200 playlists addressing different aspects of real estate investment, more importantly in the beautiful city of Lagos, Nigeria. Once again, you're welcome to Property Matters, and I'll see you immediately after this short timeout. Stay tuned. Alright, you're welcome back. It's a privilege and an honor. Please, again, before I go further, do well to subscribe to this channel. Please and please help us grow, help us reach more people. Subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell so that when I drop a video, a very important personality like you will be the first person to see. So today I'm going to be talking about the concept of land grabbing in Lagos. You know, over time on Property Matter, we discuss some of the things that we think you need to know, and of course we also go further to expose you to the realities of the Lagos State real estate market. What some people have done basically is just to show you the sweet part of it, but we go further to show you the beautiful, the ugly, and of course other parts that is mostly ignored by some real estate practitioner. So I'm going to be talking about the concept of land grabbing and what exactly are these land grabbers. And I'm also going to be explaining to you some of their activities so that you can be rest assured when a real estate developer is telling you that I'm always having issues with land grabbers. Many of us mostly think that land grabbers are just like maybe some hired thugs that is being brought, by some aggrieved members of the family who may have legal claim to that property. But little or known, many people understand that land grabbing basically it's a noble profession in Lagos. Of course, we'll get to that. So whenever we have land disputes in Lagos, Nigeria, now the thing is that the concept of land dispute is a normal thing, a normal phenomenon, more importantly in the southwestern part of Lagos. And a whole lot of people don't understand that land grabbing presently is fast becoming a lifestyle and activities of a notable few, more importantly those who are in higher position of influence. Now when we talk about land grabbing basically is when some group of rich and powerful individual lay claim to a large portion of land that might have been probably sold to either a real estate developer or some individuals. And when you look at what actually causes land dispute, there are numerous causes of land dispute, and of course in this part of today's episode I'll be explaining four major causes. There are numerous, there are several, but I'll be explaining four causes of land disputes in Lagos, Nigeria. It may probably not be on today's episode, but I'm going to be doing an episode talking about land grabbing, and of course I'll be explaining what you need to know that will tell you that a particular real estate developer is being challenged with by land grabbers. So when we talk about land disputes, there have been instances whereby some land disputes have been, sorted amicably, and we've also witnessed several scenarios where some land disputes have ended bloodily, and there have been reported cases of casualties to the point that government is being forced, to intervene and of course seal that property until that dispute have been resolved. When we talk about land disputes, what many people know about land disputes is way deeper and way broad to what we've been told. And when we talk about land disputes, you need to understand that land disputes is something that benefits some parties who lay claim or legal claim to a particular properties. But in most cases, when we have issues of land disputes, there've been numerous scenarios where notable land grabbers have been involved. Something happened last year. Was it last year? No, earlier this year, around February, along the Odoragushi area of Ekpe, Lagos, Nigeria, and we got an information at the office that some notable land grabbers have taken possessions of some large portion of estates within that region. And when the news got to us, now when you get an information that there have been activities of land grabbers in a particular location, you should try as much as you can, of course, to some realtors watching, because I know a lot of realtors watch my video, which is very good, and I want to say thank you for watching. Once you notice that there have been reported cases of land grabbing, for your safety, I would advise that you stay away from that particular region until that case has been settled. And sometimes you need to see obvious signs, okay, that the case has been amicably resolved. All right, so who are the land grabbers? What exactly are they doing, and why are they, mostly involved in disputes? Now, the very first thing I want all real estate investors to understand basically is that in Lagos, Nigeria, more importantly, and other parts of southwestern, but it's more prominent in Lagos. Of course, Lagos State is the economic epicenter of Nigeria and one of the largest economy in Africa. And of course, there have been cases of land grabbing activities in other parts of southwestern, but it is more prominent in Lagos, Nigeria. So it's a noble profession to these people, and there are some people. These people controls, and of course, to an extent, they have influence. And when we talk about land grabbing, a whole lot of rich and powerful individuals have made fortune being into this profession of land. It's a profession. Though many people may not be aware of this, it's a profession. It's something that people have done, okay, and at some point the man had to pass over the baton of authority to his child. So it's a profession, and people have made fortune. The surprise of this whole scenario basically is that some land grabbers are even way richer than some real estate developers in Lagos. Yes, they are richer, and of course this is because of the fact that they control and they have large influence of real estate activities in Lagos. Now, a lot of people will not come online to explain this. Probably they may not be aware of some of these things I'm explaining. So it's a noble profession. You may give it your own interpretation, but as far as what I'm concerned, people earn a living doing land grabbing activities. And the reality is that some real estate developers pay homage to these land grabbers. In fact, I would not be scared to say online that most of these guys be even most of these real estate developers will definitely have to sign a peace treaty and pay homages to these land grabbers if you want to enjoy a trouble-free real estate development activities in Lagos. So that is just it. And in most cases where you have not met them or you don't have any form of you've not paid your own image, they may decide to pay you a visit in your own estate. And whenever you notice that they have been involved in some of land grabbing activities and your estate is concerned, sometimes it's an indicator that they want to meet with you in person, more importantly the real estate developer. So these are some of the things, not all of them, but majority of real estate developers are, you just have to be their friends if you don't want to have any issues. And these are some of the things. Now, a lot of people have been asking me questions. Does that mean these guys are untouchable? Who are they? Why do they interrupt development activities and they go scot-free? There have been instances whereby when they pay you a visit and you think you want the law enforcement agencies. Now, to the higher rank of these land grabbers, the highest rank of them is that majority of them are called the untouchables. If you think you want to involve the law enforcement agency, you might end up being disappointed. And of course, some of them will even boldly tell you that if you like, go to the federal level. Nobody will question our authority. So this is why a whole lot of real estate developer had to form a cordial relationship and pay homage to them so that they can have smooth, and trouble-free activities in Lagos. So they are highly connected. They are the untouchables, and these are some of the things that you need to do. So if some people are trying to paint a false illusions that when these land grabbers are involved in maybe the property you bought, and they are trying to give you these illusions that you can take appropriate steps and perhaps deal with them, you have just made the matter worse, because in most cases they don't lose. So these are the concept of land grabbing in the Lagos state. So you should know them, you should understand. Now, why are these people involved in real estate? I actually did a video basically talking about land grabbing activities in Lagos, where I talked extensively on some of these things. Now, as a real estate investor, finally, on the final notes, I'll be showing you some signs that are indicators that your land has come under the control of these land grabbers. There are some major influences, there are some major indicators that you need to look out for. The very first thing that may give you this indicator, this sign that the land grabbers are actively in control of your property, is when the real estate developer has lost total possession of that property. Now, when we talk about land disputes and land grabbing activities, in most cases, okay, it's not always in most cases. Let me quickly make this clarification so that I will not be misquoted. In most cases, it is not the fault of the developer, and the reason why most of these things happen basically is due to the fact that many of them never foresaw that this kind of thing will happen. So the very first thing is that shows you that a developer has lost his land or the estate he has sold or is selling to you, to these land grabbers or to any form of land dispute, is that the estate, the property suddenly becomes abandoned. I've seen instances where some real estate developers are beginning to see the signs that, in fact, there are some places in Lagos, Nigeria, that are prone to land grabbing activities. This is why it is very important that if you are buying properties in Lagos, these are some of these indicators that you need to look out for. These are some of the indicators that there are some places in Lagos, Nigeria, that are, an open field for land grabbing activities. So the moment the estate becomes suddenly abandoned, okay, it may be an indicator that the land grabbers have forcefully taken possession of the property. So these are some of the first thing that are indicators that land grabbers are taking possession. The next thing you need to understand is that where the signboards and other placards indicating the name of the estate have been suddenly removed. Now, there are some things that happen when land grabbing activities happen in Lagos, Nigeria, and one of the things is that they will remove your signboard, and there's something they put, it's like a message, something like an indicator. When you begin to see things like charms, like red clothes, some will even decide to even put a calabash okay, in front. Most of these things, many people used to think that whenever we have indicators like red clothes, charms on the property, maybe an agreed member of the family have decided to put those things to scare people. In most cases, these are signs that the land grabbers have arrived on that property, and they expect you to come and meet their their second in command or their top in command for renegotiation. So these are indicators. So when you start seeing all the symbols like calabash, red clothes, and some other things, these are indicators, okay, that the land grabbers have taken possession. Now, in some cases, okay, when you go for site inspection, they will come and meet you. And I usually speak, excuse me, I've explained to some of my colleagues, some realtors in this industry, that the moment you notice that some people have come to challenge you on a particular property, if you don't understand diplomacy and conflict management skill, please try as much as possible to remain calm. In some cases, what sparks crisis and maybe casualty when these land grabbers, because the thing is, the moment they see you on that land or you're coming for physical inspection, they will challenge you. So in some cases, you don't want to talk back at them rudely. You don't want to respond out of annoyance, because the moment you do that, you aggravate the matter and things becomes worse. So the first thing you want to do the moment is that when you notice that there are people coming on the land, okay, to challenge you, these are indicators that that property has come under the influence and the control of land grabbers. Okay, so these are some of the basic things that are indicators that a particular properties are come. Now, the thing is, some real estate developers will not come online, or they will not call your attention to the fact that they are having issues. Now, someone was asking me a question, where are the notable places that land grabbers, now they don't have a specific locations, but they have a place where their activities is more dominant. You may see them today in Ikorodu, the next day they may go. In fact, there was a particular time that I went for a property inspection at Isheri North. That's the open part of Isheri North and other parts of Isheri North. When you get there, they are there. So there was already, when I got there, despite the fact that I went with the developer's vehicle, I found out that they were heavily guarded policemen with guns, that they followed us, And when we got there, the thing is, they are fearless. Well, they've been instances where they said that many of them have charms and other things that they use for protection. Okay, so they are fearless. Well, when we got there, I saw them. I just had to tell I just had to tell the woman that, Madam, forget, you can't buy this property. There have been instances whereby when you want to take things, when you want to use force to to chase them out, it aggravates the matter. And the longer you use forces, the longer you don't have access to your properties. So if there have been cases of confrontations on that property, just know that they are involved. Okay, so these are some of those things that are indicators that land grabbing activities or land grabbers are on your plot or your estate. So please, for realtors watching this video, don't exchange verbal word. Majority of them are very, very aggressive. Majority of them will throw words, and sometimes it is intentional. They really want you to react so that they can spark up crisis and of course violence there. So please, if you don't understand diplomacy, please don't go for site inspection where land grabbing activities is more. Of course, I've had lots of encounters with them. One of the things you get to see from us, the experience in real estate, is that we know how to relate with them. There was a particular case. I went to a site, and the person that followed us was not a Yoruba speaking person, and the man was trying to talk to them using English language, that okay, what is happening? No. And for the fact that the guy was not speaking Yoruba to them, they go angry. It was just the mercy of God that helped me to to speak with these guys. I made them understand that the guy was not trying to be rude. He doesn't just speak the language you understand. And as a realtor, you just can't afford not to make friends with some of them, because there've been instances. There was a particular time I was supposed to go for real estate inspection, and some of them called me that, Adejare, we're going to be raiding this particular location, please stay away. So they are not entirely bad. It's not as if I support what they do, but when you understand that diplomacy helps you make friends, and of course they give you first-hand information. So there have been times that someone have called me that, you see that particular estate, we are coming there, don't even bother. So they give me first-hand information, so I can tell you that a lot of people have been asking, should I buy this? Well, I cannot come online to say you should buy, you should not buy. I'm not in a better position, but I can tell you that with the kind of relationship and interaction I've had with some of them, they give me first-hand information. So if a property will lead to trouble, I know. I do. So this is where I'm going to draw the curtain of today's episode of the concept of land grabbing. I hope you have found value. Please and please and please, I'm begging you, do well to subscribe. Support me by subscribing. Turn on the notification bell. Invite your friends and family to do so. So I'll be talking about the causes of land disputes and how to resolve matters with the prominent land grabbers. Okay, I'll be giving several informations on how myself and some real estate developer I've worked with over time have been able to resolve crisis. There've been issues that we were able to resolve within two or 3 weeks or 7 days, depending on the magnitude of the issues. So I'm going to be talking about that. So this is why you need to subscribe. This is why you need to turn on the notification bell. Until I come your way on another episode of Property Matters, do also subscribe. See you in my next video. God bless you. Bye.